Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 5, Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. We are on text 11. Kaina manasa buddhya kevaler indriyer api yoginaha karma kurvanti sangam tyaktvatma shuddhaye. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The yogis, abandoning attachment, act with body, mind, intelligence, and even with the senses only for the purpose of purification. When one acts in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of the senses of Krishna, any action, whether of the body, mind, intelligence, or even the senses, is purified of material contamination. So what does that mean? That means there are no material reactions resulting from the activities of a Krishna conscious person. So because a Krishna conscious person, he's acting only for the pleasure of Krishna. He may be acting with his body, mind, or words. His actions are not on the material platform. They are for Krishna. So he's a Krishna conscious person is already a liberated person, or truly his every action, a person whose every action, whose every word, every thought is for the pleasure of Krishna. Then he is acting in Krishna consciousness for the pleasure of Krishna. So he has no reaction, no karma coming to him, no material contamination. Therefore, purified activities, which are generally called sadachar, can be easily performed by acting in Krishna consciousness. Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-187 describes this as follows. Iha yasya haretasye karmana manasagira nikhila swa api avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. A person acting in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, in the service of Krishna, with his body, mind, intelligence, and words, is a liberated person, even within the material world, although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities. So Srila Rupa Goswami is explaining to us in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu what Krishna is saying in this, that a person who has already revived his original consciousness, he's no more thinking that he's the body. He's already understood his position as the soul, and he's already understood his position as an eternal servant of Krishna. Then what does he do? Even though if he's in the body, he's doing all the actions, but all his actions are in Krishna consciousness. All the actions are in Krishna consciousness. And because all his actions are in Krishna consciousness, he is liberated, even though he is living in this world. So he's called Jivan Muktaha. He has no false ego, for he does not believe that he is this material body, or that he possesses the body. So this is the Jivan Mukta. What is he doing? A pure devotee. He has no false ego. He does not think that he is this body, and nor does he think that he has this body. He does not think he's the body, and he does not think he has the body. He is possessing the body. He knows that he is not this body, and that the body does not belong to him. Because if we say, oh, I have a body, then I'm coming from a platform of, oh yeah, this body belongs to me. Although I'm not this body, but this body belongs to me. You see, oh, I am the soul, but I have a body. But when we say I have a body, it means, oh, this body is mine. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm saying have. But this person he's already on the liberated platform. He's acting in Krishna consciousness. He has already understood that he is not this body, and not that this, and he also knows that this body does not belong to him. Now, what does he also know? He also knows he himself belongs to Krishna, and the body too belongs to Krishna. So when we are saying he here, it doesn't mean his mind or his false ego or the material body. No, this he is referring to the soul. To the soul, he's already revived his original consciousness. So in his original consciousness, he has already realized he himself belongs to Krishna. And because he himself belongs to Krishna and the material world also belongs to Krishna, this body is a product of the material world. This body too belongs to Krishna. When he applies everything produced of the body, mind, intelligence, words, life, wealth, etc., whatever he may have within his possession to Krishna's service, he is at once dovetailed with Krishna. So this is a pure, when a soul has already understood his position, that I am not this body, I do not possess this body, I belong to Krishna, and this body also belongs to Krishna. And whatever I have in my possession belongs to Krishna. And so whatever he does, whatever he speaks, whatever he thinks, wherever he goes, all the possessions, how does he use? He uses everything in Krishna's service because he's rightly understood his position, Krishna's position, and the position of this material world, of this material energy. Then he is one with Krishna and is devoid of the false ego that leads one to believe that he's the body, etc. He's one with Krishna. So it doesn't mean that he becomes Krishna. Very important to understand. When we say he is one with Krishna, what does it mean? Does it mean that he's become Krishna? No, no. That is his whole consciousness. He has understood what does Krishna want. What does Krishna want him to do here? Even though he's here inside this material world, inside the material body, he's understood what Krishna wants. He's understood his position as a part and parcel of Krishna. He's understood that he's not separate from Krishna. He's not separated. He understands that in quality, he's the same as Krishna. And so he is devoid of false ego that leads one to believe that he's the body, etc. It's because of this false ego that we think we are separate from Krishna. So the pure devotee, he's on the liberated platform, and on the liberated platform, there is no false ego. So he does not think that he's the body. This is the perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. Perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. And so we may think, oh, but right now I'm not in this position. So what use of this knowledge is there for me? So Krishna is telling us that we can come to this position. We can, and this is the perfect position for every living entity to come to. And this is the original position of every living entity. So we just have to, so what do we do now? What shall we do? To be again situated in that, to revive this, to revive our consciousness, because we are Krishna conscious. We are Krishna conscious. We are just thinking we are not. We are believing we are not. So what do we do now? What shall we do? And we are believing we are the body. We are not believing we are Krishna conscious. We are believing we are the body. So how to go from where we are to where we should be? What shall I do? Anyone?
Hear and chant.
That's right. We hear and we chant. Like just now we were discussing that by chanting, we are going to be able to see who we truly are. The dust which is accumulated on the heart gets cleaned. It gets cleaned when we are chanting. And so we need to keep hearing. If we don't hear, we will not have the strength to chant. We will forget. We will again come, oh, material world, very good. I am the body. Let me do this. Or even if we even if we are trying to understand, I'm not the body, I'm the spirit. But what will happen if we don't chant? Then the process becomes very difficult. The process becomes much longer. And so this is the reason for this age. This process is given to us, which is the shortest and the fastest process for self-realization. So we keep hearing about Krishna. By hearing about Krishna, we are associating with Krishna. We are associating with Krishna. By chanting Krishna's names, we are associating with Krishna. And we are purifying our consciousness, purifying, cleaning our heart. Then we will be able to see ourselves, who we truly are. So, is that okay? So we might think, oh, this is such a difficult thing to achieve because I'm thinking I'm the body. I'm thinking I'm the body. I have a false ego. Then now this stage is being said, no false ego, does not believe he's the material. But this is our real position. This is our real position. So it's not that. And so we have to understand, because it's our real position and because the process is given to us, we just have to follow the process and it will happen. It has to happen. Like a child practices to walk, but he'll fall down. But one day he will walk and he will run. Similarly, we just hear and chant, and we will revive our original Krishna consciousness. So, are there any comments or questions? No? Anything to add or share?
It's just that this looks really what we should be doing, because all of them are saying the same thing again everywhere, like
yes.
So I think
all of them are
chanting, they're all emphasizing on hearing and chanting and hearing and chanting.
Yeah.
Because like in different yugas, there was different dharma to get Krishna. So this is the way that we can get Krishna. And we are fortunate by the mercy of someone that at least we know.
Yes,
so we should try
yuga.
to give it.
Yeah, different yuga, the process was different for self-realization, to understand who we are. You know, to understand, oh, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. Now, this yuga, the process is chant Hare Krishna mantra. And we have been given the highest, not only that we are giving open invitation to enter into the spiritual world. Enter into Golok Vrindavan. Go back to Godhead, and in the shortest manner, because Kali Yuga, we don't have much time. Our lives are very short. And Treta Yuga, the lives were very long, so they could do the yagyas. In Satyug, they were living 100,000 years, so they could meditate for 60,000 years. They could. In Dwapar Yuga, they had those lot of opulences, so they could worship the deities with all those big opulences. But in Kali Yuga, our lives are short. We do not have much resources. Our minds are disturbed, always anxiety, very disturbed minds. We are given, okay, the most potent medicine, but we don't like to take the medicine. If you give the medicine to a child, when the mother is giving the medicine to the child will throw the medicine. No, I don't want it. It's so bitter. But still the mother will keep saying, please have the medicine. Please have the medicine. It will cure you. That we are like that child. I don't want to take the medicine. Why should I hear and chant about Krishna? There are so many other nicer things to hear and chant about. And that's what we are thinking. But because we are in the diseased condition. And what's the disease?
That we are the body.
Yes, we are inside. We are thinking we are the body. Yes, that's the disease. And so we are like, no, I don't like this medicine. But this is the medicine. And then the more we hear and chant, we will be able to experience the bliss. We will experience the happiness, the bliss, because that's what it is. It's blissfully performed. Krishna is all blissful. So hearing and chanting is blissfully performed. Initially, we may not want to. Prabhupada, Rupa Goswami gives the example of jaundice. There was before no medicine for jaundice. The only cure was drink sugarcane juice. Now, sugarcane juice is very, very sweet. But if you give sugarcane juice to someone who has jaundice, they're going to spit it out. They'll say, you're giving me poison. Why are you trying to poison me? But it's actually very sweet. But because this person has jaundice, he's going to throw it away and say, you're giving me poison. But the more he drinks the sugarcane juice, it's going to cure him, and he will begin to feel the sweetness for it. And then when he's cured, the jaundice is fully gone, he will actually taste the sugarcane juice, the sweetness. So we continue here and chant. We may not like to, but just do it. And we will feel the bliss. And we are. That's why we continue doing it. We are feeling the bliss. That's why we continue doing it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.